Hey guys, people ask me sometimes, what happened to you? You changed. Yeah, I did. And you know what I did? I stopped running. I stopped numbing. I stopped looking everywhere except in the one place that actually had the answers. Because for years, when things got intense, when life got heavy, I would just disappear into distractions like party, work, anything not to feel what I was feeling. And maybe you're doing the same. Maybe you're scrolling right now just to escape that quiet ache in your chest. But I want to share one thing. Life brought me to my knees. And in that space, when I had nowhere left to run, that is where everything shifted. So I finally stopped running from myself. Not because I wanted to be missed, no, but because I needed to finally hear what my own soul had been whispering under all that noise. I finally heard my truth, and it was so cliche, but so true. Stop running, stop looking out there. Everything you need is already inside of you. And I've lived this, and this is why I record this video. It's not just to quote some cliche. No, because once you really connect to your inner truth, guidance comes in. And I had to learn this the hard way, okay? When I was absolute at my lowest, when anxiety was consuming me, when I felt completely lost, that is when I finally asked for guidance. Not from people, not from books, but from something deeper. I said, God, please show me the way. And that is when everything changed. Let me explain what I mean. The connection to my inner voice became so strong, I started exploring deeper tools like quantum physics, meditation, nervous system healing, somatic healing. These weren't trends for me. These became the bridges back to me, to my body, to my breath, to my truth. And each practice opened doors, new doors. And it was not just healing, I was expanding myself. And by expanding, I started to remembering that I am connected to something greater, to God, to whatever you want to call it. And when you anchor into that, guidance becomes a daily experience, not just a rare miracle. And this is something I've said before in my previous videos, but there is no one truth. But here's the thing, there is your truth. And that truth runs through everything that is real. Every ancient wisdom, every deep practice, it all carries a spark of truth because it all comes from God. Everything here is created through source. So dismissing parts of the path, dismissing certain tools or messages just because they don't fit your current lens, that's not discernment. That is blocking your own expansion. Stay open, stay anchored. Let the truth find you in whatever form your soul is ready for. The guidance I needed, it was coming from within. And that is when I realized you don't need anyone or anything outside of you to guide you through life. You just need to restore that connection with yourself. And if in that connection, there is guidance from certain people, that's magic. But it shouldn't be the other way around, where people are telling you what to do. Do you see the difference? Okay, and here is what nobody almost talks about, but I'm going to tell you anyway. That dark period in your life, maybe you're going through it right now, it is not punishment. And I can tell because I've been through it. This is your initiation. I used to think I was broken. I used to think something was really wrong with me because I was struggling so much. And I realized in that struggle, it was my soul demanding to finally pay attention. That is when the real healing began, not surface level stuff, the deep life-changing connection to who I really am. And I stopped waiting for external validation. I stopped looking for the answers in other people. I stopped believing that peace would come from fixing my circumstances. I'm not talking about sitting with crystals, repeating only affirmations. I'm talking about the kind of inner work that strips you bare, that forces you to look at your parts of yourself that you've avoided for years. The real peace, it comes when you stop trying to be the version of you that survives and start listening to the version that's here to live fully. And that is what real transformation looks like, okay? It is not about becoming someone new. It is about remembering who you've always been underneath all the fear and all the conditioning. It's the power that comes when you stop seeking validation and start trusting your inner guidance. People say you've changed. Yeah, I have. I stopped betraying my inner voice to make others comfortable. And I decided that if peace costs me people, I will still choose peace. If alignment costs me attention, I will still choose alignment. I'm not here to apologize for that choice. When I stopped chasing external answers and start trusting my internal guidance, everything I was searching for started flowing to me naturally. And here's what happened when I made that shift. The things I was desperately seeking outside of myself, they started to show up. Not because I became more worthy, no, but because I finally stopped abandoning myself. Because here is the truth: you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are and what you embody. When I became connected to my inner peace, chaos lost its power over me. But that doesn't mean it stopped showing up. Chaos still came, life still happened, but I wasn't shaken the same. I was rooted. I was built different. When I came rooted in my truth, confusion couldn't shake me. When I trusted my inner voice, I stopped needing everyone else's opinions. See, transformation doesn't look like clarity at first. It looks like loneliness. It looks like second guessing everything you once called home. And that hurts. The answers you're looking for, they're not out there in someone else's formula or timeline. They're inside you, buried under everything you've been told to. When everything falls apart, when you have nowhere else to turn, that is when you finally hear your inner voice. That is where I connected to myself. That is when I found a connection to something deeper. Call it God, call it soul, call it your inner guidance. Pain stripped me of illusions. Silence trained me to hear truth. And from the darkness, I started leading myself out. Not because the path was clear, but because my inner voice was finally louder than my fear. And people talk about spiritual awakening like it's all love and light, right? But real awakening, it's active surrender to what is. Surrender isn't weakness. It is choosing to believe that something bigger than you, something bigger than your fear is guiding you, even when the way isn't clear. It's saying, I can trust what I cannot see. You don't get peace by trying to control everything around you, okay? You get peace by going within and trusting what you find there. So I stopped running from my feelings. I stopped numbing my pain with distractions. And in that stillness, I found everything. I found everything I was looking for. I found space. Space to breathe, space to dream, space to rebuild. And in that space, I remembered I don't need to be chosen when I choose me. I don't need to be validated when I validate my own path. I don't need to be louder. I need to be truer. So if you're in that space right now where nothing makes sense and everything hurts, I see you. And I just want you to know something. This video is for you, for the ones going through the hardest time of their lives right now. That darkness you're in, that's not your end. That's your beginning, I promise. But don't rush it. Don't numb it. Don't fight against it. And please accept it. Because when you start to accept it, you're getting out of the energy of fight. If there is one thing you take out of this video is the word acceptance, okay? Start to accept it. It doesn't mean that you're going to accept it for the rest of your life. No, accept the current situation you're in. And from there, healing will start, I promise. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to be deeply known by yourself. And if you're watching this in your darkest hour, this is your sign. The answers aren't out there. They are in you. So let go of what keeps you in pieces. Call your energy back from every place and trust that inner voice because it will guide you home. Walk forward, not because you have it all figured out, no, but because you're finally ready to go all in on yourself. This is your shift. No more waited to be saved. No more playing small. You're not healing to go back. You are healing to rise. You're healing to remember. You're healing to be you. Okay? I hope my video resonates. Let me know if it does. Like the video, subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear this. Like always, I just want to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.